In this video, we're going to look at writing linear equations from 2 points. Now, we're going to calculate the slope first using the slope formula. Our formal formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This basically means the change in y over the change in x. This makes sense because our slope is the rise, or how much it's changing vertically, over the run, or how much it's changing horizontally. We're going to substitute m, x, and y in the formula y equals mx plus b to solve for b, just like we did when we were given the slope and a point. Remember, zero slope, that means that the line is horizontal. So we can skip straight to the equation, which is y equals the y value of the point, so y equals b. An undefined slope means the line is vertical and the equation is x only, or x equals the x value in one of the points. So another way we can think of finding our slope from 2 points is by stacking them and finding the change in y over the change in x. So if I've got -3 minus 5, I get -8 as my change in x, or in y. And then when I have 3 minus a -5, so I have to subtract the bottom number from the top. 3 minus a -5, I get +8. When I simplify that, I get a slope of -1. Now that I have my slope, I can plug these values into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use my other point this time. So I'm going to use 5 as my y. My slope is -1. My x is -5. And we're going to solve for the b. When I multiply -5 times -1, I get +5. So I have 5 equals 5 plus b. When I subtract my 5 from both sides, I end up with b equals 0. So I've got enough information to write my equation now. I write it as -1x plus 0. Now we can simplify this a little bit. Since we don't really need that -1, we just need a -x, and we don't really need the 0. So I'll have y equals -x, and that's my entire equation. Again, for the next example, let's stack the points, and I'm going to subtract the y's first. So -3 minus 0 gives me -3. 2 minus 5 gives me -3. When I simplify, I get a slope of +1. I'm going to plug that into my equation, and let's use 5, 0. So 0 equals 1 times 5 plus b. I simplify, and I subtract my 5 from both sides. So I have b equals -5. I have enough information now to write my equation. I have y equals 1x minus 5. Another way we can write it is just y equals x minus 5. Again, it was -5 because our y-intercept was negative. Let's try a couple more examples. So again, I'm going to stack my points. I subtract 3 from 3, and I get just 0. 8 minus 2 gives me 6. So my slope is 0. That tells me I'm going to go straight to my equation. So I have y equals, and I notice both of my y values are 3. So I'm done with my equation. Again, let's stack it. And I'm going to take 3 minus 12. I get -9. 4 minus 7 gives me -3. When I simplify -9 divided by -3, I get +3 as my slope. And I'm going to go ahead and plug in into y equals mx plus b. My y value, and I can use either point. I'm just going to go for this one now. So I'm going to put in 12. My slope is 3. My x value is 7 plus b. So I simplify, and I get 21 plus b equals 12. I take away my 21 from both sides, and b equals -9. I have enough information to write my equation, so I have y equals 3x minus 9. Now, remember, if I end up with a undefined slope, that I'm just going to write an x equals equation. If I have a 0 slope, I'll write it y equals equation, and everything else is y equals mx plus b. So go ahead and try the next examples on this page.